Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about that homeschooling supplies, must-haves, what you need. Back to school is just around the corner in general, and so now is a good time to stock up on anything back to school like everybody else is doing. So the big thing that you're going to need to homeschool are individual whiteboards for your children. I also have a big whiteboard that we use a lot. We put our vocabulary words up there. We actually memorize famous quotes, and those are written up there. And as we learn it, we erase parts of the quote. Things like that. You're going to want at least individual whiteboards for your kids, just the little ones. Just like these little individual whiteboards for your kids to use to write on. You're going to want some of these. Obviously with whiteboards you are also going to want the Expo markers. They sell skinny fine-tipped Expo markers right now. I know that they're more difficult to find when it's not school season. And then obviously you're going to want pencils. A lot of pencils. I was shocked how many pencils my kids went through during the school year. Then you are also going to want colored pencils, crayons. I don't do markers. We have markers in our house, so if my kids really need markers for something that we're doing for school, I can go grab them. But honestly, I love the colored pencils. I don't have to worry about ink getting anywhere. I don't have to worry about the markers drying out. Colored pencils are awesome, and it's really great to go right now and get them because they have lots of fun colors, as well as your crayons. I noticed Crayola came out with quite a few. Like they have a skin tone box of Crayolas, which my kids are so excited about, and they do that with colored pencils as well this year. You're gonna need glue sticks. Now, I do have a couple of bottles of the liquid glue, but glue sticks, I know that they sell them in like a box. You're gonna wanna get a couple of those. Depending on how many kids you have, I got 4 of those boxes last year and I went through 2 of them. So I would say you're going to want to have at least 1 box per kid of glue sticks. I also like the glue sticks because they dry faster. Something that I didn't get enough of last year that I am going to get more of this year are the 3-prong folders. So these things, this has my kids' reading logs in it right now, but these 3-pronged folders where you can actually put papers in and they stay, you're gonna want a bunch of these. Like, I think I bought 50 after back to school because they were $1 and we are out. My kids also too, they use those folders to write stories and put their stories in them. So maybe we use them more than the average Joe, but that's like this year is what I'm putting my kids as student explorers in. They're just less bulky than a binder, and I find that they work a little bit better than a binder. They're just more durable for the stage my kids are at. You're going to want to get paint as well. Now, I didn't buy my kids high quality paint because they're kids. I know at back to school they sell like a box and the paint tubs are about this big and you get all different colors. That's what I got my kids and they loved it. And they're just liquid paint. They're very, very washable. They do not stain clothes. And I know because my 3-year-old was wearing a white shirt and, you know, paint day, he just totally... And I was bummed, and then I washed it and it's like, it looked brand new. It was just fine. So you're going to want to get paint. With that, you're gonna need paint brushes and you're gonna need something to pour the paint into. Now, I ended up getting like the little easels, not easels, they're like the little paint things, you know, and they have the individual holes for the paint things. What it is called is escaping. A paint tray. I got a paint tray for my kids. But you don't need to get that. A paper plate will do just fine. So paint, paint brushes, and those little things. Composition notebooks. You're gonna want to have at least 1 for every kid. We use our composition notebooks for are language courses, because there are things in there, whether they're taking a test. It's just a nice place to keep it all for record keeping. It's all of their language work is in that book, whatever story they wrote, whatever spelling words that they're struggling with. And it's a good reference to go back to as well. And it's neat and tidy, and it's not falling everywhere. So composition notebooks. And guess what? Your kids can be fun and exciting, and they can have a cool composition notebook, not a boring one like all the teachers tell you to get. So another great thing about homeschooling. Anyways, so composition notebook, that's something that you definitely need in your homeschool supplies list. Of course, you're going to need your curriculum choice, but that's not something that you can get at Target, so we're going to skip on past that one. Binders. You do need binders if you are doing a curriculum that you have to set up yourself. So like I've said in a previous video, I do Good in the Beautiful curriculum, the binders and I need binders for that curriculum. Here's the hard part. Different science units are different thicknesses. And so depending on what science unit you purchase will depend on the thickness of your binder. Something that I've gotten for homeschool, this is like my number one. If you're going to splurge on something, this is what you need to buy, is a laminator. They're actually not that expensive, but you need to buy a laminator. Don't buy the laminating sheets at the store though. Get those off of Amazon. They work amazing. They are the exact same thing. You can get way more for half the price than what they are at the store. So you need a laminator. You need a laminator. You need a laminator. You need a laminator. That is your homeschool supplies list must-haves. Now for me, a lot of the stuff that I have listed, I don't need again this year. So this year, the big dumping of what you need if you're gonna start your homeschool supplies list this is probably going to be the most expensive year. But then as the years progress, you already have some of the supplies on hand, or you've built up a good stock, or you saw it on sale. Not only that, like, that's what's good to know about these things, is that if you see it on sale, or you're at Michael's and you can use your 50% off coupon for something that's on this list, I mean, you should do it. So that is the homeschool supplies must-haves. Again, if you're only going to listen to one thing I say, buy a laminator. Buy a laminator, buy a laminator. But that's pretty much it. Something else that you're going to want in your homeschool supplies is, it's not even really in your supplies. Be sure and have books in your home for your children to be reading, and be sure to have a good library next to you. I'll go into that in more detail in a future video. I feel like I say that in every video, but I have so much information that I want to give you guys that I've got a lot of videos I can make. Homeschool supplies. If you need anything, it's a laminator. I know you guys will probably ask me what laminator to get. I just got one from Walmart. I think it's the Scotch laminator. It works great. I love it. Does its job. Laminating packets I get off of Amazon. I'll try and link those in the description box. Again, it's like you get this many laminating pages, and they're skinny, they're thin. I don't know exactly the number. I think it's like 160 or 260 or something ridiculous for like 10 or 12 bucks, and then at the store you get like 25 laminating pages for 10 or 12 bucks. So buy a laminator, get your laminating packets off of Amazon. That's all I got for you. Did I say buy a laminator? I think I did. So those are your homeschool supply must-haves. Now get out there and get your school supplies, because